Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Friday, April the 4th, 2025. Let's take a look at it and see what we got for today. Alright, we got some good ones here. Many videos on my channel that'll help you guys out, different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas out there, if you're brand spanking new player to the game. You're a returning player, even if you're an experienced player, there's a particular daily, weekly challenge that's giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that'll help you. Try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. Of course, you guys are awesome. The great comments and tips are greatly appreciated. If you are wondering why I have a little bit more score than you, we take a look at the top right hand corner of the screen. I have a 25% boost. Of course, I claimed that right out the current Season 20 Season Pass on 3 pages, a 5%, 10%, additional 10%, equaling 25%. And you can claim that by being a Fallout First member or by paying 1,500 atoms for the Season Pass. As you can see, we have double score weekend full in effect. Of course, this started yesterday. It will go through all this weekend and usually spills over into Monday, so that is pretty awesome. Now is your chance to use a score booster drink and gain some good traction on the scoreboard. Let's go ahead and do that so we can get some nice easy score. Of course, we can only use one score booster drink at a time. And that lasts for 24 hours, an additional 25% on top of what we have already. So let's go ahead and do that. Now, if you ever notice that your score did not change after taking a score booster drink, there's nothing wrong with your game. All you do is you back out, then all you do is you go back in, and you'll see it pop up. And the same thing will happen to your dailies if you haven't completed them yet. Alright, so now we have a 50% boost, which is pretty awesome. So first things first, I'd like to apologize for the lateness of the video. I am working my 12-hour day shift today, and I appreciate everyone's patience and support on these days. It'll be the same thing tomorrow. The video will be out just a little bit later than usual. And to make another note, I am going away on work trip, so I'll be out of town next week, starting on Monday, April the 7th. And I'll be coming back home Friday, April the 11th, probably about midday. So the daily weekly challenges, I won't be able to complete them because I'll be out of town. It would be like, I'm almost like a day and a half away from town, basically. And probably about midway through the country, basically. So anywho, I do have a lot of daily weekly challenge videos on my channel already. A lot of the videos are very old, so if you do come across an older video of mine, I would say right up to June 2023, when I started making videos back in 2022, the videos are a little rough in terms of audio. My voice is a little rough anyway, as is, but it's really rough on those videos. And those videos are a lot shorter, and but I do notice a lot of people watching them. And they are still valid here today, so I appreciate everyone's kind support during next week. And of course, we've been doing daily weekly challenges every day and weekly challenges every Tuesday, so you can always check within the the last year and a half the typical daily weekly challenges we do. All the videos are timestamped, so you can check those out if you so wish. And again, I appreciate everyone's patience and support, and I'll be putting a post out just to remind everybody on Sunday evening kind of thing, but just kind of give everyone kind of a heads up. All right, let's take a look here, Jimmy boy. We'll take a look at this one here first. Now, kill glowing creature. So my camp was attacked by a couple of mole rats, and of course one of them just happened to be glowing. And that's what usually happens if we have to kill or destroy a robot or kill a scorch or kill a ghoul. That's what usually attacks your camp. That's what I find anyway. It's so odd, but it is what it is. So for glowing creatures, we can find in many great spots in around the wasteland. I find one of the best spots for glowing creatures is right down here in the Skyline Valley region. I would say at least 90% of the creatures down here are glowing. A real good spot is here at the Shenandoah Visitor Center. I would say there's at least anywhere from 10 to 12 rad roaches, like really easy rad roaches, and at least half of them are glowing. Right down here in Camp Liberty, right by the bonfire, there will be a Yowai bear, and it's usually in a cage, and he's usually glowing as well. But in general, it's a really good spot for glowing creatures down here. There's usually a glowing mole miner right here in Welsh, which is a 100% guarantee. right up here in Mod and God. You can find anywhere from 12 to 19 mole miners, and usually half of them are glowing as well. And right down here in Blackwater Mine, again, all kinds of mole miners inside and outside of the mine, and a lot of them are glowing as well. The triplets, the 3 snallygasters over here at Toxic Larry's Meet and Go, usually at least one of them are glowing. And even the other day when we did our weekly challenge video, the snallygasters down here in the flooded train yard, usually they're all glowing down here. And right up here, nice easy spot, right up here at Abby's bunker. You actually come here very early on in game, just following the Overseer mission. So you come here very early on at a very low level, and there's 5 rad roaches down here, and usually at least one of them are glowing as well. So let's pop over here today in Abby's bunker, just to kind of show you that. Even though I have it completed, I'm still going to show you, at least demonstrate at least one spot to take you. Now again, you do come here very early on at a very low level, just following the Overseer mission. This is a level 0 requirement hack, so you don't need any special perk cards. If you have Master Infiltrator, it's an auto unlock. This is level 0. Alright, let's pop back down here. And again, there'll be 5 rad roaches down here, and sometimes you'll find all 5 of them glowing. But that is rare, but you can find at least 3 of them glowing down here. It's a pretty good spot. Look at that. There's glowing guys down here. Of course, I'm in the Pharaoh mode there, so my shot's a little off. So all 3 of them are glowing. There'll be 2 more rad roaches in here. He's not glowing, but we'll see what pops out here. And he's glowing, so there we go. Good stuff. And this is a pretty good spot here. Abby's bunker. Alright, let's take a look at the next one here. Let's go ahead and consume any chems too. So a couple different ways we can get chems here in the game. We can find chems just laying around in most places and around the wasteland. I find personally here at Point Pleasant, probably hands down one of the best spots for chems. So getting to that, human enemies such as cultists, blood eagles, even communists, they'll carry stim packs on them. I'm not saying everyone will have stim packs, but the vast majority of them will. And here at Point Pleasant, some of the cultists will have 2 or 3 stim packs on them. And just the chems laying around. So I think the most chems I've got here one time was 30 chems, and that's in between both picking up stim packs off the bodies and just chems laying around. So this is a really good spot. Even here at the Gilman Lumber Mill, for being a very small location, it's a nice neutral location with responders. There's usually several chems in around there as well. Right over here at Morgantown Airport on the outside, like the runway, and out front of the arrivals area, really good spot for some great chems there as well. And that's just to name a couple of great spots. Another place to get chems is you can visit any train station on the map. You go down to the White Springs Mall. You go to any fast travel location, like up here in Crater, down here at Foundation, even over here at Nuka World on Tour, and even the trading post, they'll have what's called medical dispensers, okay? And those medical dispensers, you can buy chems using your caps, all right? Let's head back to our camp here real quick, and I'll show you a resource that we just got recently. All right, so let's head inside our camp. So we just got this resource just this past Tuesday, and I did make a video on it there. It's a very popular video, and I would say it's probably one of the best camp resources we have in game, this Dr. Order's cigarette machine. And you can check out that video I made. But not only will it collect cigarettes and cigarette cartons, etc., but it'll also collect chems as well. So we get orange, mint, hat, psycho, in this case, kind of thing. So just an FYI, this particular camp resource, you don't even have to leave your camp, right? You'll collect some chems as well. I know I get the question asked earlier if they will collect berry mentats. I haven't seen berry mentats yet, but I'm not taking it off the board, that's for sure, because there's a few orange mentats here, so that is a good possibility there. So just an FYI. You can also craft chems at your chemistry workstation. Now, if you don't have a chemistry workstation, you get a chemistry workstation very early on in game. Most people, when they come out of the vault, they go right down to the Flatwood area. If you go to the tavern, you'll interact with a couple of kiosks down there. It's to join the responders. The very two first quests you do down there, you'll earn yourself the chemistry workbench plan. And of course, as we saw during yesterday's weekly challenge video here in Morgantown Station, and I always kind of bring it up when I see it, but there's a chemistry workbench here as well. And I would say 8 times out of 10, there's a chemistry workbench plan right on the floor next to it. All right. And you can also buy chems from other players, what have you. Okay, so there's many great ways to get chems in the game. Now, if you are full health, if you try to take a stim pack, it's just either you're already full health. So if you're new to the game, you might be wondering, okay, I'm trying to take a stim pack, but it's not working. It's just because you're full health. Okay, there's nothing wrong with your game. It's just, you know, you're full health, right? So just an FYI if you're trying to do that. So let's go ahead. I do have a lot of chems on me because I'm a ghoul. Definitely a lot more chems than I ever used to carry before. So let's go ahead, take a couple rad X there. There we go. Consume any chems 2 for 2. I know it sounds easy, but I just like to kind of give as many options as I can for people where they can find chems, just in case you're new to the game. So let's take a little bit more here so we can get out of feral state. All right, let's see what's next here. We're going to actually do these two at the same time. So drink Nuka-Grape 2. And then this one down here, drink Nuka-Cola Orange 2. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these two at the same time. We usually have one or the other. It's we don't usually have them both together like this in the same day kind of thing. But essentially, we talk about Nuka-Cola Collectrons a lot here on the channel. And if you have a Nuka-Cola Collectron station or the Nuka-Cola Quantum version, you'll be able to collect Nuka-Cola products. Now, even though this is the auto miner, okay, as most of you know, and if you don't know, if you're a newer player, but if you have many types of collectrons, all you do is you go to a little terminal and you can select what that collectron will collect. Now, even though this guy's an auto miner, I have him set to collect Nuka-Cola products, okay, as you can see there. And look at that, he's got 4 orange and 2 grape on him, so that is pretty awesome, all right? So let's take a look just to show you what the OG Nuka-Cola Collectron will look like. So let's go to our build menu here, and we're going to go down to the resource section. So this is the OG one here. We got this one a long time ago, Season 4, Season 5. And again, he'll go on sale maybe once or twice a year for 250 or 500 atoms. He'll collect Nuka-Cola products and maybe the odd bottle or 2. We have another variation of that one, is this Nuka-Cola Quantum. This one came out in Season 11 scoreboard when Nuka World on Tour first came out. It will collect Nuka-Cola products, bottle, purified water, and nuclear waste. But either or counts. You guys have seen all 10 of my camps, and I have either or in my camps, all right? Collecting some sort of Nuka-Cola product because they're just worth their weight in gold, and that's what I usually suggest to people. Now, we can get the OG one using gold bullion. And we get that from Samuel down here in Foundation. You must have a cautious reputation with the settlers. Okay? And I believe it's 1250 gold bullion. Now, Nuka-Cola Grape and Orange, there is only one spawn point for them. And that's right here in Fraternity Row here in Morgantown. So let's pop over here. Oh, look at that. We got a mole miner. Huh. Didn't know the mole miners were out. Well, that's pretty cool. Right here, right on. Nice. So if you're looking for mole miners this weekend, hit them hard. Because as you can see, they got some legs on them. Nice. Well, that's pretty awesome. Don't forget to take your mole miner pail. What else they have on them? Nice. That's pretty awesome. I didn't even know mole miners were here this weekend, so that's pretty good. Cool. So that in that case, I'll put a video at the end of this video showing you all about mole miners, and you can even craft your own mole miner pails. So anyway, getting back to the orange and the grape, we're going up here to the Etta Sai house, which is the one here in the blue door. And we're going to go right inside here real quick. Now, this is the one with the Nuka-Cola bedroom downstairs here in this walk-in basement. Hopefully they don't follow us in here. And this is where we can find our Nuka-Cola grape and Nuka-Cola orange. Okay, so we got a grape here today. We don't have an orange. So 3 things can happen here, okay? And this is my theory. So I'd never pick these guys up, never pick them up, all right? So we can't even use the limit option, okay? So my theory is doesn't matter what server you're on, sometimes they just won't spawn in, all right? They won't spawn in for you because I never pick these up, and you guys see me come here a lot, and sometimes there's none here, and sometimes there are a bunch of them here. Again, it just varies on the server that you're on. The second thing is if you picked it up recently, for sure, you will have to pick up 250, 255 items to reset your game in order for them to even come back, okay? And the third thing is this is a very popular location, so if you're stuck to public servers only with other people, these areas could be cleaned right out. So I wouldn't really waste too much time coming here because usually the orange is right here. I wouldn't waste too much time. I would say maybe server hop it maybe 3 times at the very most, okay? But again, we are going to need 2 grape. We are going to need 2 orange, okay? So I wouldn't waste too much time coming here. So what I'm saying is that if you don't have a Nuka-Cola Collectron at all, either one, and you come here and you can't find these to save your life, okay? You buy them. Buy them at the end of the day, and there's 2 places where we can buy them. One place is right here in White Springs. Let's go down here. So we're going to use the front door entrance right here, and we're going to go right inside. And this is your best bet to complete these 2 daily challenges, is just buy them unless you have Nuka-Cola Collectrons available to you. So we're going to take it right up the stairs, and this is the little spiel that I usually tell you. We're going to go through the tavern, go through the medical bay, the big wide open area where the spawners are. We're going to take a left to this little store here. We're going to have good old bubbles right here. Nuka-Cola orange for 34 caps. Nuka-Cola grape for 34 caps. Alright, so there's 1 each done. Now we can server hop this guy all day long. As long as you have the caps, doesn't matter what type of server you're on, Bubbles will always have that inventory, and you can just fill your boots if you so wish. Now, we don't have to do that because we can buy them at another location on the same server. And Bubbles' inventory is not tied into the inventory of the vending machines, which are down here in Nuka World on Tour, which is also a free fast travel. So let's pop down here in Nuka World on Tour. Of course, those guys like to talk over me. Listen, there's only one room to talk, and that's me. I'm just joking. Alright, so we're going to go down here to the vending machines. Well, Gunther, I'm glad to see you got some clothes on here today, buds. Because the other day, you standing there with your underwear on really scared everybody, including this cat. Yeah, that's good to see he's got clothes on today. So here are the vending machines right down here. Now, you saw me buy it from Bubbles, right? So there we go. Orange, 34 caps. Grape, 34 caps. So as you can see, their inventories are not tied together. And this is what I recommend to people. Just buy them. It doesn't cost a whole lot, and they're free fast travel, so why not, right? All right, let's go ahead. We're going to drink our Nuka-Cola grape here. There we go. Then we're going to drink our Nuka-Cola orange. Just like that. Done. Nice. So that's a really easy score right there. Alright, let's see what's next. Alright. Let's go ahead. Pick a lock 1. So I do have many older videos I have, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. I made them very early on, 2023, so the videos are very short. The audio is a little rough, but they're still valid here today. Okay, so you can check out those videos if you run into any problems. But I find for a level 0 pick lock, and that's what I usually show here on the channel. If you have the perk cards for pick lock, or if you have Master Infiltrator, basically any lock will do, okay? But I usually kind of demonstrate the level 0 locks here on the channel, because I realize there's a lot of new people who may not have pick lock available to them under Perception, okay? So there's 2 of them right here, the Blue Ridge Bunkhouse. And there's one nice one right here, the Gilman Lumber Mill. and there's one here at the base of the North Kanawha Lookout. All right, so these 3 locations, fairly close to Vault 76, are good places to go. So let's go to the Blue Ridge Bunkhouse here today, because we did the Gilman Lumber Mill last time. All right, so the 2 that are here, fairly close when you get inside here, there'll be this toolbox right, as you can see, level 0 requirement. And level 0 requirement, you do not need any pick lock perk cards under Perception. As a new player, you may not even have pick lock perk cards for a long time. And I believe my low level character, who I believe is like 62 or 63 now, I don't think I even have a regular pick lock card. He has Master Infiltrator, but I don't think he even has a pick lock card available to him. All right, so just an FYI, that's why I show. And there is the second one here. It is the first aid kit, as you can see, level 0 requirement. And if you are new to the game, how it shows auto unlock, that's because I have Master Infiltrator, which I mentioned a couple times here. Once when you get into legendary perk cards, I highly recommend getting this bad boy. Now he's a 4-star, but even if you have a 1 or a 2-star, that's all you really need for to pick lock most things and hack most computers here in the game. All right. For starting off, all right, so just an FYI, and that's why it shows auto unlock for me, because if you check down at my regular perk cards, I don't have any pick lock ones here, and I don't have any hacking ones here in intelligence. I have them down here in my back pocket, but I don't have any equipped. I just have that Master Infiltrator, if that makes any sense. And again, if you guys have any questions to that, by all means, ask, and I'll do my best to try to explain it. So let's go ahead and auto unlock them. There we go. Pick a lock, 1 for 1, done. Just like that.
This is a better workout than trucking ever was.
All right, let's see what's next here. All right, complete an event 1. So if you take a look at the description, there's a link to a video called Complete Events for Newbies. Now, most of the events here in the game, they just spawn in randomly. Some are just regular events, some are public events, like the one that's right down here. Oh, if I hit the right button here. This one right here, this in the line of sand, so he's like a public event, all right, just for an example. And then other events we're able to spawn in ourselves, okay? And that's what I try to do in that video, and the video is all timestamped, so if you do run into any issues finding events, maybe an event that you want to do, you can check out that video in the description. So let's take a look here and see what we have available to us on the server. Of course, we have Dogwood Die-Off, that's usually there all the time. I think this is an Enclave one over here, yep. Now we have good old Monster Mash. That's actually a good one there, but that's a little bit higher level. I recommend having, if you never did it before, bring someone else with you. Maybe like a higher level, lots of ghouls in that one. And that's pretty much it. Alright, good stuff. So let's go ahead. We're going to try to spawn in an event ourselves. Let's go right up here to Grafton, and we'll see if we can spawn in either Grafton Day or Protest March. That's one thing good about Grafton, is you have a possibility to spawn in one of 2 events up here, so that's a pretty good spot. Right, let's go ahead here. Now you can spawn in events on either type of server, public ones or private ones. You guys have seen me do it both ways. Lock and load here, Jimmy. Protest March, okay. Oh, jeez. So this only happens in one spot here. Right over here, this little corner over here. Shut this light off. Now you see it counting down in the top right hand corner from 30 minutes. It's not going to take 30 minutes. Now, of course, there are going to be super mutants here, okay? So just be aware of that. The super mutants and the mutant hounds and the floaters, they just happen to be here. They have nothing to do with the event. So basically, the first round here will just be scorched. But the second round will be some scorched and maybe a couple of robots, all right? So just an FYI, but it's not good. It's only going to take maybe about 5-7 minutes at the very most for this one here. Even though it says 30 minutes, we're not even going to get to 30 minutes. Nowhere's close. And all you do is just wait. And then you'll hear the guy. There you go. So now we're on the second wave. And then we get these robots just kind of spawning out of nowhere. Running low on ammo, Jimmy. Now this Tommy gun just loves the ammo. Absolutely loves the 45. That little guy up there. Oh, there's a robot there. And a lot of times with this one here, you're just kind of waiting anyway. There we go. Just like that, complete an event. That's as easy it is. Super easy. Let's grab some stuff here. There we go. Nice. Alright, let's see what's next. Deal critical hit to an enemy using automatic weapons 5. Okay, so as you can see, we got 4 or 5 done. So let's go to a little bit of a quieter kind of place here so you can hear me talk and explain it. We'll just pop over here. Row there, Scoob. Let's get out of here. Oh, he's following us still. Get on top of this guy here, and that really gives me a chance to. I don't know if I can make it. Oh, we just did. Barely made her. There we go. Alright, so let's take a look at the next one here. Deal critical hit to an enemy using automatic weapons 5, okay? So an enemy is basically open to anything on the map, okay? Even animals like Robin down through Flatwoods, okay? And even like the real easy animals like the opossums, the foxes, the rat stags, they're all included in the enemy category. Even humans and robots, alright? So we have to deal a critical hit. And as you can see, and as you guys can tell, between this character and my low level, you see me do it pretty much all the time. All right. So we do have one left here. So we're going to try to... oh, we got one guy left with the sign here. Let's see if we can use him as an example. Oh. Alright, so you see that crit meter in the middle? So that crit meter right now is full, alright? So now I'm able to perform a critical hit, but I recommend going VAT. So someone had the question the other day, I forget who it was, and I think they were trying to perform critical hit without going VATs, okay? But I suggest you go VATs, so that way there you can, it's a little bit easier to fill that meter up. So once when you fill the meter up, sometimes that meter comes up so fast, and even though we're looking at the screen in the front of us, okay, sometimes we just miss it, okay? So I know myself, I usually try to listen for an audible alarm, okay? That's what I call it. It sounds like a little bloop sound, okay? And you'll hear it when you're ready to perform a critical hit, all right? Because again, that crit meter comes up so fast. And you see the bottom of the screen, it says critical. Y in my case, I'm on Xbox. So whatever button that is for you, you'll start flashing. And that's how you know you can perform a critical hit. But once when you get going and you start doing critical hits all the time, you're not even looking for that flash. You're not looking for the bar in the middle to fill. You're just basically listening for that audible alarm because you're filling up your crit meter using VATs, okay? And then you're performing a critical hit. So to perform a critical hit, if you watched an older video of mine, like maybe about 1.5 years ago, I explained that you hit the critical button, in my case Y, and the fire button at the same time. Now that works, it works. However, nowadays I recommend to people is, once when you fill the crit meter, you hit that critical button, in my case Y, by itself first, and when you do that, the screen will flash white really quickly. And then you hit the fire button by itself. And I recommend going for the torso because you can miss on a critical hit. All right. Now, some people have put in the comments that what they do is they hold on to that critical button, whatever that is for you. So they hold on, keep pushing it down, and then they just hit the fire button, and they're getting crits like crazy. Now, if you have a weapon that is a 2-shot, you guys have seen me use my handmade before, and if both shots land, you actually get credit for 2 critical hits, which is pretty awesome. All right. And depending on the weapon that you have, like this like a fixer that I have, like not the fix that I have right now, but sometimes it only takes 1 shot and that crit meter is full. But I also have other weapons such as a lever action that takes like 8 shots to fill that crit meter. Okay, so not all weapons are created equal. A lot of times it depends on what legendary effects you have on the weapon. All right, so let's get a little closer to this guy so we don't miss. All right. Now we're going to hit our critical button by itself, just so I can show you how the screen flashes white. See, just like that. And now we're going to hit the critical button, the fire button, by itself. So the fire button on your gun. There we go. So there's our critical hit. Just like, that was kind of weird. I think he was kind of lodged there for a little bit. But again, if you read the comments, maybe within the last 2 or 3 weeks, some people say that they hold on to that critical button, in my case white, and then just go around and just fill it up and then hit the fire button when they're ready when they hear that audible alarm, basically. But I recommend going VATS if you're trying to fill up that crit meter. And I think I forget who had asked about it last week. I think that's what the issue that they were having is their critical meter wasn't filling up because they weren't in VATS filling it up there. So anywho, I didn't even notice that little swing down there. Weird. Okay. I think we're done. We are, just like that. But once when you start doing critical hits, you'll do them all the time. And again, you're not even looking for the critical bar. You're just listening for that audible alarm because you just, because I know myself, I deal with VATS. Some people free aim. There's nothing wrong with either or, whatever way you want to play your game. I'm not gonna, I'm not judgy, but I just use VATS because it's easy and fill that crit meter up and then just fire away. And of course, you get a little bit extra power. You know what I mean, for a critical hit. So yeah. Right, let's head back to our camp here. We'll take a look at weapon of the day. I know for the longest time I never even did critical hits until up to maybe about a year and a half, or maybe almost 2 years ago. And that's all I do now. Let's take a look here. All right, weapon of the day there, Jim. Let's take a look. Gormon suppressed submachine gun, Tommy gun. Damage increase up to plus 24% as you fill your hunger and thirst meters. Currently plus 24%. Projectiles explode for plus 20% weapon damage. Plus 100% faster movement speed while aiming. Plus 60% armor penetration. It's Gormon's explosive nimble. Has a armor piercing receiver, short light barrel, recoil compensating stock, medium quick eject drum, reflex sight dot suppressor, and no appearance. 46 damage, 45 ammo, and it is fully automatic. And again, that's one of the stipulations for that daily is, again, it has to be an automatic weapon. If it's a single fire, it's not going to work, okay? So make sure to read, I know I've done that before, not read the full daily. As easy as it sounds, but it's easy to not read it right. And I've definitely done it before. Just make sure you're using an automatic weapon with that bad boy. So again, automatic weapons. So we do have a commando build here. So under perception, we have Master Commando, Commando, Expert Commando, all maxed out. Tank Killer, Concentrated Fire, Arms of Steel, Arms Keeper, Bandolier, Fireproof, Chem Die, just because I'm a little ghoul here. Cute little ghoul. Suppressor, Tenderizer, Covert Operative, Evasive, White Knight Adrenaline. These random cards which randomly popped in when they're being activated. Legendary Perk cards again. I've had these for quite some time. I'm very happy with them, and as you can see, they're all maxed out. Yeah, so don't forget, double score weekend. Yep, good time to gain some traction on the old scoreboard. Again, the video will be a little later tomorrow because I'm working my 12-hour day shift. And again, all next week from the 7th to the 11th of April, I'll be away on business for work. I'll be out of town. And but I have a lot of videos available. But I will put a little post out on Sunday just kind of as a reminder. And I do appreciate everyone's patience and support and kind comments and such. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and share me the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, Not Me But Me, Yes Me That's Me, Drew, Andrew, Demon, Confounded Bridge, Ben Durant, John DJ59, Picker S, Benny Bunny, Gwen Trutnell. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.